Hey everyone, welcome to Reality TV News Update, the place where we bring you the latest updates, fun moments, and behind-the-scenes stories you won't want to miss. Survivor is kicking off its 50th season next month with a cast that includes 3 past contestants with New Jersey ties. Survivor 50 in the Hands of the Fans will debut on CBS Feb 25th. The season will feature 24 contestants who previously appeared on the iconic reality series during its 25-year run. Among the Garden State natives is Siri Fields, a Jersey City resident returning to Survivor for the 5th time. She was also a contestant in seasons 12, 16, 20, and 34, finishing as high as 3rd in her 4 appearances on the show. Chrissy Hoffbeck, a resident of Lebanon Township during her initial appearance, who now lives in Florida, hopes to finish 1 spot better than her runner-up showing in season 35, Survivor Heroes vs. Healers vs. Hustlers. After finishing 8th on Survivor 46, former Elizabeth resident and current Los Angeles resident Tiffany Irvin is also returning to the show. Fields discussed her Survivor experience in a promotional video on the show's Instagram page, saying the series keeps allowing me to challenge myself. The now 55-year-old wants her latest appearance on the show to serve as an example for her children and grandchildren to never give up. Fields stated, "I started Survivor 20 years ago, so it's my 20th anniversary. I'm exactly where I need to be to win this game, and everything that led up to this point was perfect." Hoffbeck won 4 individual immunity challenges during her first run on Survivor, tied for the most such victories by a woman in the history of the show. In her Instagram video, she expressed her excitement to be back before calling her shot as the season's champion. "I think my favorite moment is going to be season 50 when I win the $1 million, Hoffbeck said. They would join Tony Vlachos and Michelle Fitzgerald as Garden State natives to win Survivor if any of the Jersey trio wins. Vlachos, a Jersey City resident and Allendale resident, has won the show twice in seasons 28 and 40, while Fitzgerald, a Freehold resident, has won season 32. When Survivor returns for its 50th season, the milestone installment titled Survivor 50 in the Hands of the Fans, fans won't just get epic challenges and strategic twists. They'll also witness 3 fierce competitors with roots in the Garden State: Siri Fields, Tiffany Irvin, and Chrissy Hoffbeck. Born and bred, or shaped, by New Jersey's lively blend of grit, humor, and resilience, these castaways are ready to prove that Jersey pride isn't just for the boardwalk. Siri Fields, the Jersey City strategist. Most fans know Siri not just as a Survivor player, but as a legend of the game. Born in Jersey City, New Jersey, Siri began her Survivor journey in 2006 and quickly became one of the most respected social and strategic players in the show's history. From her initial appearances on Survivor Panama and Micronesia to her subsequent appearances on Heroes, even though she didn't win the game, Siri became known as a villain and a game-changer for her ability to form strong alliances, read her opponents like a book, and thrive in the chaos of tribal council. Her path through the game has involved near wins, fierce battles, and a legacy of respect that few contestants ever achieve. Now, decades after her debut, Siri returns for Survivor 50 with something extra: the wisdom of a veteran who's seen it all, felt it all, and lives to play another round. She brings not only experience, but also a deep comprehension of human psychology, including how to connect, how to divide, and most importantly, how to survive when the stakes are the highest. She is 55 years old. Siri's Jersey upbringing, a melting pot of cultures, personalities, and street-savvy smarts, shaped her worldview. She is not easily intimidated, and she is not afraid to confront power head-on. Expect her to be a social focal point early on, weaving connections across tribe lines and listening more than most. But don't mistake her kindness for weakness. Keep an eye on her when it's time to make the big moves. Tiffany Irvin, Franklin Township's creative fire. In a cast full of familiar faces and repeat competitors, Tiffany Irvin stands out as a returning player with a unique blend of creativity, resilience, and emotional intelligence. Originally hailing from Franklin Township, New Jersey, Tiffany first appeared on Survivor 46. Her first attempt was not without its difficulties. Despite early alliances and clever strategic plays, Tiffany found herself blindsided at a critical moment, a painful lesson in the cutthroat world of Survivor politics. But Survivor isn't the type of game that forgets a face like hers. She left a mark, and the opportunity to return for the 50th season means she gets a second shot at the $1 million prize. Tiffany's uniqueness from the cold strategist stereotype is what makes her so compelling. She's an artist and creative producer with a sharp mind and a strong emotional core, someone who sees her game through both heart and logic. After her first season, she has openly discussed her self-reflection, including how she learned to manage conflict, better read people, and hold her own in high-pressure situations. New Jersey's influence on Tiffany is subtle but powerful. The toughness of its winters, the diversity of its communities, the balance of polished culture and raw authenticity. She is a player who not only wants to outlast others, but also to understand. Tiffany could be a surprise for everyone in tribal gameplay that increasingly values emotional intelligence over physical strength. Chrissy Hoffbeck, from the Garden State to the Great Unknown. Completing the Jersey trio is Chrissy Hoffbeck, another New Jersey native whose Survivor journey has already won hearts. Born and raised in the state, Chrissy first entered the franchise on Survivor Heroes vs. Healers vs. Hustlers. She quickly gained notoriety at Hustlers for her friendly demeanor, quick wit, and strategic instincts. Although she didn't win her first season, Chrissy's performance resonated with fans. She showcased a blend of warmth and strategic depth that's rare in a game where paranoia overshadows empathy. Her ability to build authentic connections helped her navigate alliances, and her competitive spirit often surprised her opponents. More than just retribution lies at the heart of Chrissy's return for the show's 50th season. It's a chance to prove that kindness isn't a liability, it can be strategy. She is likely to combine social play with street smarts with more life experience and sharper observational skills. To connect with castmates and find common ground, she'll draw on her Jersey roots, known for their talkative diners, pragmatic hustle, and diverse personalities. Her challenge will be balancing vulnerability with strategy, opening up enough to form true bonds, but staying guarded enough when the game turns brutal. Chrissy has all the social tools, now she'll show how she uses them under pressure. What their Jersey roots bring to Survivor 50. At first glance, New Jersey might seem like an unlikely training ground for a tropical battle of wits and endurance, but anyone who's ever lived there knows it's a place of contradictions. Tough yet heartfelt, competitive yet community-oriented, outspoken yet strategic. This is precisely what makes Chrissy, Tiffany, and Siri such intriguing fugitives. Siri brings the strategic patience and social foresight of someone who's lived a lifetime of negotiations, whether bartering for deals on the island or managing real-world life in Jersey City. Tiffany brings the emotional intelligence and creative problem-solving of someone who's used to thinking outside the box, both in art and in alliances. Chrissy brings the balance of empathy and calculation, the Jersey talk that builds quick trust, and the inner grit that helps you survive when trust is broken. All three are proof that Survivor is more than a physical game. It's a psychological, social, and emotional journey where your identity, including where you come from, can be one of your greatest assets. And as Survivor 50 kicks off, New Jersey will be cheering loud, knowing these three Garden Staters carry not just the hopes of their state, but the hard-earned wisdom that comes from life off the
Survivor franchise is focusing on nostalgia, legacy, and personalities that are bigger than life as it gets ready to celebrate its landmark 50th season. The cast of Survivor 50 promises to be full of familiar faces, unfinished business, and players who helped define various game eras. Among them are three competitors with deep roots in New Jersey, each bringing a distinct style shaped by life in the Garden State and by their past experiences on the island. These Jersey natives are ready to demonstrate that where you come from can be just as important as how you play, whether it's through masterful social maneuvering or a ferocious competitive spirit. The Jersey City legend returns, Cirie Fields. Cirie Fields is one of the most significant Survivor participants ever. Cirie, who was born in Jersey City, New Jersey, has long been regarded as one of the greatest players who has never won a game. He is also arguably one of the best strategists the series has ever seen. Cirie's original story is the stuff of reality TV legend. She famously began her first season afraid of leaves, bugs, and just about everything else the outdoors could throw at her. Yet over time, she transformed into a strategic powerhouse, relying not on brute strength, but on social intuition, timing, and an unmatched ability to read people. She was feared and admired for her ability to influence votes without giving the impression that she was in charge. Now, returning for Survivor 50, Cirie brings decades of life experience and a resume that spans multiple iconic seasons. Her New Jersey upbringing, growing up in a fast-paced, diverse environment where you learn quickly how to deal with all kinds of personalities, has always been central to her game. Cirie observes before she acts, listens more than she talks, and acts when the time is right. At this stage, Cirie doesn't need to prove she belongs in the Survivor Hall of Fame. She is pursuing closure, the elusive title that has repeatedly vanished from her grasp. Few players more fully embody the spirit of legacy than the Jersey City native who revolutionized the game's play. Chrissy Hofbeck, Jersey grit with a strategic smile. Another familiar face returning to the island is Chrissy Hofbeck, a New Jersey native who first made waves during her debut season by combining competitive drive with sharp strategic instincts. Chrissy quickly stood out as someone who refused to be underestimated, often outperforming expectations and challenges, while also holding her own in complex alliance dynamics. Growing up in New Jersey helped shape Chrissy's nonsense attitude. The Garden State isn't known for sugarcoating, and Chrissy brought that same straightforward energy into the game. She was vocal when necessary, competitive when it counted, and never afraid to push back when she felt overlooked or dismissed. What made Chrissy especially compelling was her ability to balance toughness with relatability. She could talk strategy one minute and laugh with her tribe the next, creating bonds that went deeper than surface-level alliances. In Survivor 50, a season that is expected to feature players from various eras, each with their own expectations and play styles, this social flexibility will be crucial. This time around, Chrissy enters the game with the confidence of someone who knows exactly what Survivor demands and what mistakes she doesn't want to repeat. The New Jersey native has sharper instincts and a clear understanding of her strengths, so if she can control her threat level in a cast full of legends, she could be a serious contender. Stephanie LaGrossa Kendrick, the Jersey competitor with fire. Rounding out the New Jersey trio is Stephanie LaGrossa Kendrick, one of the most fiercely competitive players the franchise has ever seen. A New Jersey native whose intensity became her calling card, Stephanie is remembered for her relentless determination, physical grit, and refusal to quit, even when the odds were stacked heavily against her. Stephanie's original seasons showcased her as a warrior, someone who thrived in challenges and wore her emotions on her sleeve. She wasn't afraid of confrontation, and she never backed down from a fight, whether physical or strategic. She was sometimes polarizing due to her unfiltered honesty, but she also made a lasting impression. Returning for Survivor 50, Stephanie brings a more seasoned perspective. Life after Survivor has added layers to her game: patience, reflection, and a deeper understanding of how perception can shape outcomes. However, the fire that characterized her early appearances has not subsided. If anything, it's been refined. Her resilience reflects her upbringing in New Jersey. The same grit that fuels long workdays, competitive sports, and fast-paced living in the Garden State translates perfectly to the island. Stephanie doesn't wait for opportunities, she creates them. And in a season when reluctance could result in elimination, that mentality may prove to be extremely useful. What New Jersey brings to the island. Despite the fact that Survivor is shot thousands of miles away from the Northeast, New Jersey has quietly produced some of the most enduring characters in the franchise. There's a reason for that. A social strategy game based on trust, deception, and endurance would benefit greatly from the state's diversity, blunt honesty, and mix of toughness and heart. Siri Fields represents the strategic mind shaped by navigating complex social landscapes. Chrissy Hoffbeck embodies competitive grit paired with calculated intelligence. Stephanie LaGrossa Kendrick brings fearless intensity and unshakable determination. Together, they showcase three very different paths from the same state, proving there's no single way to play Survivor or to represent New Jersey. A Garden State legacy in Survivor 50. As Survivor 50 unfolds, fans won't just be watching a celebration of the show's past, they'll be witnessing how experience, growth, and identity shape the future of the game. This season means more to Stephanie, Chrissy, and Siri than just competition. It's about legacy, retribution, and demonstrating that the lessons learned at home still matter. One thing is for sure, New Jersey will be well represented, and the Garden State will not be quiet on the island.